joining us tonight, consumer justice attorney Anthony Russo, who represents the unsatisfied customers in that proposed class action lawsuit. Anthony, it is good to see you. Really, does anybody believe that what is in the ad is actually what your chalupa is going to look like?
I think that most of the time people think it's going to be somewhat what it looks like, not this kind of egregious difference.
Okay, and therefore they maybe shouldn't go back to Taco Bell again? Or at what point do they deserve $5 million?
Well, not to focus on the $5 million. You've had several of these lawsuits, Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's. The $5 million, the amount in jurisdiction, these are jurisdictional amounts that have to be pled to get the case into the court in the first place. The numbers could be drastically different one way or another, depending on how many people are in it. The bigger issue is that really it's a consumer awareness issue that, it's a slippery slope. If you start with fast food and small items, what's to say it won't be a car misrepresented or a house or something worse?
No, I get the concept. I guess if it's fast food, people stop going to the restaurant. If it's that bad, it seems to be people are still buying Taco Bell. But I think about class action lawsuits, which is what you want this to be. And I get the business model, and you say you're holding companies responsible. Coke, $2.73 million in legal fees. Consumers received zero. Subway, $520,000 in legal fees. Consumers received a coupon. Volkswagen, $175 million in legal fees. In that case, consumers were able to give their car back. Anthem, $41 million in legal fees. Consumers received less than $1. I get the idea of lawsuits, and you brought up Wendy's and McDonald's and others. But in the end, isn't it that the consumer ends up paying for this, right? Because you get a bunch of legal fees, we all get a coupon, and then Taco Bell raises the price of the chalupas to pay for the legal fees.
But that's not always the way it is. We went down this road last time with McDonald's. That hasn't resolved itself. Those are years and years of working on it. And it's really about the change. It's not about making sure that somebody gets paid. It's about the change in the attitude and the behavior and the accountability.
So are you just being altruistic about this?
Well, for the most part, this is an altruistic. Class action suits are really altruistic in their nature, in that they try to bring about change using a large class as opposed to an individual lawsuit. If somebody sells you a bad car, you're going to come to me. I'm going to go ahead and sue them to get back the money you spent or the product that you bought. This is just on a grander scale, and there's only few vehicles in which you can do that.
I get that, but isn't there a point to be made, to be fair? And look, we're not a fan of anybody getting ripped off by Taco Bell or anybody else, but isn't there a point to be made that in the end, the people who pay the most for this is the consumer to pay the legal fees? And if people were all that upset about Taco Bell not filling the chalupas or the Mexican pizzas with enough beef, if enough people don't eat the Mexican pizzas, then Taco Bell is going to change the way they do things, would they not?
The class action structure, as I know it for doing this for 30 years, is that the amount of money that is given in legal fees, if that's going to be the focus, is significantly small compared to what is doled out. It's just you're dividing, a number by so many different people. It comes out to be a very small number. What kind of recovery can you have if it's a $5 item?
Yeah, the number I always hear is about a third to the lawyers, but maybe I have it wrong. All right. Hey, Anthony, I got to tell you, I always admire you being willing to come on and talk about this stuff. You're fighting for the consumer, which is something we appreciate as well. And companies aren't going to stop doing bad things, so we're going to have you back, all right?
I'm always willing to come back. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you always have been. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.